The competence trap. The more you know, the more like a fraud. You tend to feel like an imposter. And that's kind of weird, right? The more I know, the more I feel like an imposter. Yeah, see, here's something that, if you just look at it, it sounds completely backwards. Like, no, that's not the way it is. The more you learn something, the deeper your expertise becomes, and suddenly the more inadequate you can start to feel. See, beginners, they tend to walk in a lot of times very confident. Experts tend to walk in a little nervous. And if that sounds unfair or unfamiliar, that's because it's kind of weird, but it is what it is. But understanding why it happens, that's the first step, and not letting it stop you. Don't let it stop you. Let's keep moving forward. A couple, I got to tell you the science. I love the science behind all this. I love reading about this. But a couple psychology researchers, David Dunning and Dunning-Kruger, documented something fascinating back in 1999. It makes me think of the Prince song. But let's keep going. Let's party like it's 1999 and beyond. People with limited knowledge in a field tend to dramatically overestimate their competence. They don't know enough to know what they don't know. But here's the flip side. That doesn't get as much of the attention as it should, that people need to realize. As your expertise deepens, awareness of how complex things can be, there's a complexity expansion that takes place. And the more you know, the more clearly you can see how much there is you really don't know. The edges of your knowledge, your limitations start to come into view. And those edges can feel like inadequacy, even when they're actually evidence of sophistication and you're able to do more. Overall, this is what we call a competence trap. The better you get, the bigger the gaps appear between where you are and where you think you should be. Oh, at this point, I've learned all this, I should be over here. But you're not yet. Anybody relating to what I'm saying? This is why the person who just discovered a topic can actually dominate a dinner party conversation. And I'm not kidding. See them up on stage talking about it when they really don't know that much. While the actual experts sit in the audience, sit at the table, wondering if they're even qualified to speak themselves. And then there's the guy who watched that one documentary on YouTube and is ready to tell everybody. Anybody sound familiar? You know that guy? I've seen the ones with the shirt. I watched the YouTube video. Oh. Industrial organizational psychology research on expert performers shows something important. Top professionals don't experience less uncertainty. The top ones don't experience less uncertainty, but they learn to function within it. The technical term is actually called tolerance for ambiguity, and it's one of the strongest predictors of long-term performance in complex and evolving fields. I do a lot of work, not just here in psychology, but also in electronic payments, and it gets complex and it's always evolving. So high performers aren't confident because they have all the answers, and I'll never have all the answers. But they're confident because they make peace with the fact that no one does. And they develop the skills to figure things out as you go. That's confidence, figuring things out, knowing I can figure it out as I go. There's also a technique called structured reflection. This is used in healthcare, aviation, and in developing executives too, structured reflection. So what you do, or we've seen, is after a significant experience, you ask yourself 3 questions. You ready? You're going to answer these. What did I do well? What would I do differently? And what did I learn? I didn't say anything about, was I good enough? No. That question will not give you a useful answer. The 3-question debrief will give you useful data that you can learn from and you can move forward with. The awareness of your own limitations is not proof that you're unqualified, but it shows you that it's proof you're paying attention. You're aware of what's happening. Helps you to know where you can make the next step to grow too. See, beginners, they don't know what's missing or what they're missing yet. Experts do. And that awareness, I know it's uncomfortable, it feels weird. It's a feature of being human. It's not a bug. It's not a defect. So this week, try the 3-question debrief on something you recently did. In fact, make it a habit of doing it. I do it with other people. I do it to myself. It's not to grade yourself. It is to learn from yourself and from your experiences. Because the goal isn't so that we feel more certain. The goal is to learn how to trust yourself in uncertain times. See, confidence isn't, again, the absence of doubt. It's the decision to move forward anyway, that you will figure it out as you go. You got this.